Well, I mean, there's something to be said for having your own constraints and sticking with one version. But a lot of times with that, you can go, oh, we can't really do that because they did that something similar to that in this. To be able to have just a buffet of material and to literally dip from a 75-year-old well and pull out all the water that you want is a great benefit. The challenge, I think, for us is making sure that it fits within the LEGO universe. The LEGO universe is so expansive. You really have just a plethora of choices. But also making it fun. One of the things that I loved that was a huge challenge was the relationship between Batman and Superman is tenuous, to say the least. So being able to find the funny in that and be able to find the comedy in that, and even Batman not being so inclined to join this Justice League in the very beginning, having like a secret box set of everyone's vacations, from the kryptonite to everything else that they couldn't do then, to turn that into something funny, present its own challenges. But that's something for like Brandon Manny, Jim Krieg, the writers. That's stuff that they look for anyway. So I think it was probably easier for them to do than to try to say, let's come up with our own stories.
Well, I'm sure you know there's an era of Batman that is much less serious, 50s into, are you bringing in any of that stuff like Batlight and things like that?
Well, there's some of that in the games, for sure. And yeah, the whole Adam West era, in the 66 Batman, to me is still as beloved as, the Nolan period, the Burton period, or the animated series. I think that was a perfectly relevant response to the culture. I think that if it had become really, really dark, it wouldn't have been as received. And then once we got into like '89, it was like, here's a new version of Batman. It had some, glimmerings of Cesar Romero as the Joker, because Jack Nicholson was definitely kind of doing a new version of that. And all cards just went up in the air when Heath Ledger came out for Dark Knight. So I think that it's first of all, it stands the test of time. It's a true test to what Bob Kane was able to do as far as create a hero that, again, wasn't the hero that people wanted, it was the hero that they needed. In each iteration of time, we have Detective, we have DC because of Batman. Action comics, all that stuff. So, to me, Batman is the most compelling, complex, intriguing superhero you can find because he's just a guy who's really, really smart. And I always, superpowers are great. You look at something like Green Lantern. What's your superpower? I can do anything. I can do anything that I can imagine. That opens up a world of possibilities. But when you just take it down to one guy who, with the right resources, can do your badass and save the world from crime is a pretty compelling premise. I don't know which is informing which, but absolutely. There's a universal stance that all actors have when they're doing a hero, which is hands on hips.
Yes.
And so we definitely will do that if it's going to be more that. I have a tendency to cross my arms a lot more, and I've seen our Batman do that a lot. So I don't know if is art imitating life or is life imitating art? I have no idea, but there's definitely a lot of physicality. I've knocked over my fair share of microphones, just by grand gestures, absolutely.
Why did you say that it's easier to pull from different iterations of Batman as opposed to just being the one? I thought it would be a little bit more difficult.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for having your own constraints and sticking with one version. But a lot of times with that, you can go, oh, we can't really do that because they did that something similar to that in this. To be able to have just a buffet of material and to literally dip from a 75-year-old well and pull out all the water that you want is a great benefit. The challenge, I think, for us is making sure that it fits within the LEGO universe. But the LEGO universe is so expansive, you really have just a plethora of choices. But also making it funny. One of the things that I loved that was a huge challenge was the relationship between Batman and Superman is tenuous, to say the least. So being able to find the funny in that and to be able to find the comedy in that, and even Batman not being so inclined to join the Justice League at the very beginning, and having like a secret box and everyone's weaknesses, from the kryptonite to everything else that could undo them, to turn that into something funny presents its own challenge. But that's something for like Brandon Vieti and Jim Creed, the writers. That's stuff that they look for anyway. So I think it was probably easier for them to do than to try to say, let's come up with our own lore, let's come up with our own stuff.
Well, I'm sure you know there's an era of Batman much less serious, 50s to
Sure.
Are you bringing in any of that stuff like Batman?
Well, there's some of that in the games, for sure. And yeah, the whole Adam West era, and the 66 Batman, to me is still as beloved as the Nolan period or the Burton period, or the animated series. I think that was a perfectly relevant response to the culture. I think that if it had become really, really dark, it wouldn't have been as received. And then once we got into like '89, it was like, here's a new version of Batman. And it had some, glimmerings of Cesar Romero as the Joker, because Jack Nicholson was definitely kind of doing a new version of that. And then all cards just went up in the air when Heath Ledger came out for Dark Knight. So I think that it's first of all, it stands the test of time, and it's a true test to what Bob Kane was able to do as far as create a hero that, again, wasn't the hero that people wanted, it was the hero that they needed. In each iteration of time, we have we have DC because of that. Action comics, DC and all that stuff. So, to me, Batman is the most compelling, complex, intriguing superhero you can find, because he's just a guy who's really, really smart. And I always superpowers are great. You look at someone like Green Lantern, where what's your superpower? I can do anything. I can do anything that I can imagine. That opens up a world of possibilities. But when you just take it down to one guy who, equipped with the right resources, can be a badass and save the world from crime, is a pretty compelling purpose.
Which is more fun, the movies or the games?
I have to say it's really the team that I love working with on the games, just because they care about me more. They gave me a voice in the room. How are you, dude?
I'm right.
When did you get here? Arthur Parsons, everyone.
All right, sorry.
Wonderful. Did you? I love it. It looked wonderful on you. I was like, I have the same jacket. It's to be able to. He's a wonderful guy. He was incredibly. It looked great on you, by the way.
I couldn't do it up though, so I need to go to the gym.
It's becoming less and less rare. People call this work and it's your job. But when you get to work with cats like that, you get to work on things that is going to be good. It allows you to relax a little bit. And I think the only thing that would make this bad is if we try really hard to make it better. It's already really, really good. It's got a built-in audience. And I've seen more kids and parents watching this together and enjoying it, because it's something that appeals. Why you say the same thing as you do?
Sorry, there's a pigeon walking around.
There's always a pigeon.
Yeah.
Anytime I see a pigeon, thanks to Animaniacs, I always think of the God Pigeon.
The God pigeon says.
So good. I actually saw that before I saw Goodfellas, and so then when I saw Goodfellas, it was just funny to me. Yeah. So what else?
When you don't have a character for reference, like Batman or anything like that, where do you draw your inspiration from for certain characters?
For me, and I know everyone is different, there's always something in, whether it be like in a character description that I've been given, or it's in conversations with the director or the producers or whatever, or reading the script that kind of informs. If you take something like The Last of Us, where that's an original character that we're creating out there. The director and the team has an idea of what they want the character to represent and what they want it to reflect and all those things. But for me, there was one line in the character description that became my foothold into the character, which was, who's a man with few moral lines left to cross.
And I think that's a very compelling statement to say. So if that's true of you, what is that predicated on? What has happened to you that could be reality? So for me, it's just about finding, if you don't have something like 75 years worth of history, and multiple actors that have portrayed a character, multiple films, comics, and shows that have given you a bevy of content to be able to touch and pick up, a lot of times you just have to find something that's true to you and really trust your team. Because ultimately, they have more of a holistic view of things, and they can actually guide you. Go, oh, I know you want to do this, but either wait because we're going to do that later. Or we're going to do that thing with somebody else. So it's about trust and letting go and not making your own idea. For me. We'll do one more. Who's got it? Go for it.
Obviously, it's based on producing.
I got to move it.
Yeah, I know.
Moo! I'm around. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Incredible.